What's up, guys? You know what night it is. Wednesday night, off-centered with Dustin, the sports car dad. And I thought we had a guest coming on, joining us in terms of video, but she's just in the chat. So, AG, why don't you check your DMs and hit that StreamYard link so you can join us on video.
Oh, man.
So that we started off with a laugh because honestly, there's been a bit of a, like negativity or just like, it's a softening of the market. There's the recession or whatever going on, and we needed a laugh. So AG, I appreciate you for jumping in the chat.
Like, you're welcome. I just committed to be in the chat. I'm not coming on the show.
Do your hair, do whatever you got to do. Get the lighting up there, get the audio. But I just sent you the link to join us on the video, so we're wondering where you were at.
We had this built up as like this is the first female guest on Off-Centered, and we couldn't make it happen.
First and last. Anyway, let's say hi to a couple people, then we'll jump into our discussion. AG, you're more than welcome to join us actually visually. That was the whole goal. So check your IG for that link.
Answer the questions in the chat.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Let's get to work. I think I have to say that. Great to see you, Brian Shirley.
Live TV,
Yeah. In fact, we saw that right before, and it honestly added to the experience because we were like, I don't know, is Adriana gonna hop on and join us or what? And then there you are in the chat. It's kind of like, what's that movie, Jumanji or something? Or isn't there like a movie where like someone's trapped in a video game? Was it Free Guy? I didn't see Free Guy, but is it like that?
Yeah, it wasn't Jumanji. That was the board game with all the animals.
There we go.
Yes, I made it.
Hold on a second. Did you know that we wanted to do a video like this, or not?
I did. I actually got lost.
Okay. I thought that we didn't communicate that. Like, hey, what we want is for you to just be in our chat and answer questions by typing it out.
That'd be funny too. But no, okay. I'm here. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's say hi to a couple people first, and then we'll definitely dive in. I know there's a lot of sports going on, a lot of cool stuff with cards, and just alt. I'd love to hear about what alt is doing and that kind of thing. Also, don't ever go to alt.com. It is not alt.com. Just FYI. South Stands 303, great to see you. Coach Eddie, it is tied 1-1. I can't wait to watch after this. Ryan is in the house as well. And yeah, definitely we want to touch on the fact that you are a female in the hobby and how we can get more females involved, or at least on board with us doing something that they don't care about whatsoever.
Yeah.
Daddy Waffles.
How can we get our audience from 1.5% females to 5%?
1.7.
Yeah.
Daddy Waffles, my hinge game is strong, but in person it is horrible. So as long as I can type it out, I'm good to go. Good to see you, Troy. Speaking of which, if you guys won one of the spots for the giveaway with Chris from Rip and Wax, please send me your address, or I can't send it to you. Troy's the only person I received it for. Mark, I need yours. GD, Brandon Ryan, and Real Asset Collection. If you don't send me your address to the comebackcardinvestor@gmail.com, subject comeback giveaway with your address, I'm just going to send it to Alt and have AG sell them for me. Sound good?
We're going to split the proceeds.
There you are, Steven. Come get your cards. Email us. Great to see you, Mike C. as well. Justin, did you buy Bitcoin?
I didn't buy it today. I'm going to wait until the inflation stuff comes out on June 10th, and then I'm just waiting. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I go a little bit heavy on Bitcoin. But I'm waiting. Yes, I'm waiting in the wings.
Absolutely. Do you already own one or two or a couple or?
No, I don't even own one. I'm somewhat of a newbie. I'm a small fish in that pond. And I've kind of spread around too. I've got like 15 different, I've got Bitcoin and then I've got like 15 altcoins. So I'm no expert or anything, but it's fun though. I like kind of, getting in on certain things. It's good.
Not alts, this alts, different alts. Y'all don't have coins yet.
Just not altcoins. That's coming though. I'm sure that'll be part of the deal.
Perhaps.
I want to shout out Brett, who joined Dustin and Tim from Slab Strong, as well as several of others in the community last Thursday. We're going to do this every single month. So if you're a content creator, or if you're an entrepreneur that is looking to connect face-to-face over Zoom with guys like Dustin or entrepreneurs like Tim or Dan from Stand Up Displays. We're going to be doing that every month so you guys can ask your questions and learn about how their content creation journey or entrepreneurial journey has been and connect with them there, and then hopefully help your own journey. So really appreciate you joining us. CV Sports Cards, great to see you. Michael Stone in the house. And I don't know too much about Hicks for the Bucks, but it sounds like everyone else is excited. Great to see you, LA Collection.
He was a Saint, and then he went to the Bears, and now he's with the Bucks. I think he's replacing Sue. I don't think the Bucks re-signed Sue.
I don't think so. Do you like football, AG? What's your sport?
Decent. Football kind of bores me, but I'm from Indiana, so I follow the Colts a little bit. I'm glad that Carson Wentz is gone. But yeah, I like to go to games, enjoy myself.
What's your sport?
Basketball. Yeah. Again, from Indiana, so.
Okay. See, I think it really boils down to where you grew up or where you live, because growing up in Tampa, football was huge. And I know baseball, they have spring training everywhere. It's just there's no basketball. There's not a good college basketball team. And so basketball is just kind of a weird sport in Tampa, while football, you have the Bucks, and then even the Lightning, which they've been such a great franchise, it's been big there. But I think it really boils down to where you grew up and how excited other people are where you live about a sport or a team.
So true. Yeah, are you a Hoosier or a Sycamore?
I am a Hoosier, not a Boilermaker.
Got it.
Indiana.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah.
Helped you guys.
Well, no, I was throwing out some. No, I thought Indiana State is a Sycamores, is it not?
Oh, ISU. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I was just thinking Larry Bird. I was trying to throw out some Indiana knowledge there.
Where'd you guys go? Did you go to school?
Did I go to? It doesn't appear like I did.
Neither one of us ever went to school.
Yeah. I mean, like as in zero. Yeah. No, I taught myself everything. I taught myself how to walk.
Grade, I was like, I don't need any more. I'm good. 4th grade education.
Oh, geez.
Okay. Anyway, I need to send this to Brennan because I need to get Brennan his card. So Brennan, I'm putting in the chat the email right now. Boom. Copy and paste that, my friend. And all right. So tell us who you are and what you're doing in the hobby. What is alts? But more importantly, like, why are you here? Why are you with this new company? You had a background in Nike and all these other companies. Yeah. Tell us about that.
You own a whole Bitcoin. So how'd you get here?
Oh, right. Yeah, you know that. Hello, everybody. I am AG. Also go by my full name, Adriana Guerrero. Right now I work at Alt as the head of brand marketing. And before that, I worked at Nike for 13 years. Physically, I am in Beaverton, Oregon, because Nike is just down the street. I love marketing. I love sports. At Nike, the majority of my career was spent in what we call energy marketing. I don't know if you guys have heard this term before, but it is
sounds like a California term, to be honest. Sounds like a Southern California term.
We focused on wheatgrass energy at Nike.
I'm marketing. I'm getting the energy ready for this campaign.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's kind of like that. Energy marketing is the very tip of the pyramid. The cream of the crop is to build as much excitement and push and buzz for the brand, and then let it trickle down through the rest of the company. And so I led, yes, it was a lot of pressure. I led external collaborations in the space of entertainment, music, fashion, technology. And so at Nike, I ran the partnerships with Fear of God, Jerry Lorenzo, John Elliott, Kendrick Lamar. And I worked a little bit with Travis Scott.
Did you work with him? Did you work with him on that tour that people got trampled and died?
No.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Really
if anyone was wondering.
We're like 9 minutes in, you went super dark. Like right out
we have a range. We started with a nice laugh, and now we're talking about people getting
AG's like,
trampled.
what do you mean? I brought the energy, a little too much energy, but
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what's interesting is you said energy marketing. So you hyped up, or like you're in charge of creating the buzz within Nike, or for everyone outside, for them to get excited about what's coming out.
Outside of Nike's.
Okay. So what's
Yeah.
interesting about that, the first thing I think of is so much of sports and sports cards are about hype, right? We get excited. This is about to drop. Da, da, da. So I'd love to hear, because I have a marketing background, but from a horrible state school. So it's basically like reading a pamphlet. But you actually did it for several years. When you look at the card market now, and we'll go back to the whole story, but what are some things, or what's one thing that really pops out to you regarding just the way there's hype, or the way it's marketed as a hobby, or things like that? Because I'm always fascinated by, oh, this is new, it's coming out. I'm like, yeah, it's new now, and then in 2 months, who the hell cares? Something else is coming out, same as fashion or anything else. But like, what's your take in the hobby in terms of what you're seeing with what you used to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. And just for context, so I started collecting sports cards in middle school in Indiana. My parents would bribe me to play the piano, to do my homework, and get basketball packs. Junk wax a little bit, but it's all good. And I reconnected during COVID with your guys' show. So it all comes full circle. I love that I'm here.
nice.
But I will say I am no expert in cards. I buy and sell, but like I don't quite frankly have the time to stay on top of everything like you guys do. So I appreciate all of the content and the stories. Yeah, I appreciate.
Dustin has the time. I don't have the time.
Dustin has the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I've loads of time for it, but yeah, I make the time. Brad doesn't. But anyway, go ahead.
I appreciate you guys keeping me and everybody else in the loop.
In line.
Yeah. that are going on.
So, okay.
But back to the hype. Back to the hype question. So it's interesting because, I mean, I'll say I got called out early on for pumping and dumping. But it is a slippery slope as the head of marketing for a company, because you want to bring energy and story tell your products. But you don't want to push it too hard. So like in the card space, it's this really nuanced area for me, seeing the difference between marketing, individual people talking about it, what people are invested in heavily, and then just this whole hype train. So, I'm still trying to figure it out.
You know what's really interesting about what you just said, though, is that Nike or whatever else is like a product where you hype it, and then new sneakers come out or whatever, and then it's like boom, there's the hype and it releases. And here in LA, there's like literally lines. I'll see lines of like 100. There was a line for, what's it, Harry Styles something line, and I'm like, I thought it was like auditions to be on American Idol or one of those shows, because it was like probably 200 people long for days, as in it would restart every single day for about a week, and it was just Harry Styles clothes. And you could hype that all you want, and yeah, maybe you could buy a hoodie or something and then flip it on eBay, but it's not the same as what we're talking about now, which is viewed as an investment in many cases versus just a product that you would consume.
Well, Nike was one of the original companies too that they were okay putting out a limited supply of something and selling it out, knowing that people are going to be left behind not getting it. So they were creating that buzz that way, and they were early on that. I remember they were one of the early companies.
This is literally what I did for years at Nike, was promote those products that we only made 200 pairs of shoes globally, and we knew that we were going to sell out, and we knew that I was creating demand for 100,000 people. But that's where the trickle down effect hopefully comes from.
So I have a question, like, because I'm sure there's a lot of psychology behind it, because we have to be wrapped up emotionally and like, oh man, I can't wait, this is going to be huge, all that. What are some things that you notice or we could look out for? Because I mean, I'm a very logical person. I like to look at that stuff and step back, while a lot of people look at hype and then jump all in. But to me, it's more of like a rat race or like a spinning wheel, where I go, yeah, but that's just the game, right? I don't want to play that game of being obsessed with hype. So from a marketing standpoint or a psychological standpoint, what are some things that really hook people or really get them emotionally engaged? Because a lot of people don't want to make a mistake of buying something that they later regret, no matter what it is. And who knows what the debt situation is, the economy, whatever. I want to make sure people are at least aware of what they can do to put themselves in control of different purchases or different things like that.
Mm-hmm. I think maintaining your own point of view, and you cannot get caught up in the hype if you don't see the value in the social currency that it's bringing you. Because let's be honest, a lot of it is, while riding this hype train, is for social currency, is to flaunt that you have it, is to be part of the cool kids club. So I would say always have your point of view. Collect what you like, invest in what you think is a very good investment for you personally, where you're at, do the due diligence, and hopefully it'll pay off.
So when you say social currency, when I talk to females on my dating apps and I mention all the cards I have and that I'm chasing, they don't seem to be impressed.
Bring your Pelican case to dinner.
Can I tempt you with this?
I'm not playing with stupid dollars.
Excuse me, do you take prism-based PSA 9s as payments?
Fiat currency.
No.
Okay, well, that kind of ties into the next something else that's big on my mind, which is, if I look at the demographics that are on my channel, it's 98.5% male, and of course, I'm a man.
Your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, and I still identify as a man, and so the percentage is low, and even if the stations are bigger, I'm sure the percentage will still be around the same. And I'm sure for females, they're getting a higher percentage female audience. But in terms of the entire hobby, it is it's a male dominated hobby. And I wonder, is there a way for more females to be interested for themselves rather than just supportive of their partner or their brother or whatever else?
Or do you know if they are and just aren't out front about it? Like, are they not just out at shows or, just kind of doing it from their house? You don't have to go to a show. You can do it from your house. You can buy cards wherever,
I mean, I think this is a good example. I'm the first woman on Off Centered. So it's just like visibility of women in the hobby is a big thing for us. I think there's a lot of people like me, a lot of women like me that are collectors, that are in the hobby, that have interesting points of view. But I think we just need, unfortunately, some people like you guys to pull us up and give us a voice.
Well, I'm glad you joined the actual video part, because this would have been it for all females. I would have been like, all right, like, she's just there in the chat saying hi, I'm asking you a question, you're just responding. Hello, my name is AG originally.
Yeah. But ever since joining Alt, which was exactly a year ago, today is my 1-year anniversary, I have seen and collected so many. Or not collected. Sorry, this comment threw me off.
What's up, Judson?
I'm just visualizing that, like, women getting, like, dressed up. It's ladies' night at the local card shop.
How about a speed dating night? Is there a speed dating night?
No, you guys. No, we're just like you. We're just like you. Like, we're chillers also. We're investors, we're collectors. Like, we can chop it up with the guys just like everybody else. So
do you remember at the Mint, did you go to the Hakkasan at Mint?
I did.
Mint Collective? Yeah. I was gonna say, all right, guys, so Hakkasan is this really nice nightclub in Vegas, and during Mint Collective they had some VIP event there on one of the nights, and I looked around at Hakkasan and I was like, this would set a Guinness Book of World Records for worst girl to guy ratio ever in a top nightclub. It was like, I think it was like, I mean, yeah, 1% to 2%. Maybe there was like 20 females, but they were the spouses or partners of the current ones. And I mean, look, as a single guy, there's nothing I would love more for some sort of balance and just more widespread interest for females, because it's like I have to go elsewhere to look for potential mates, and I'd rather just look in my backyard, you know. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
But seriously, like what guy? Okay, so what? So besides featuring, I mean, you know, just shouting you out.
How can we build that hype pyramid, the energy, you know, the energy
for
marketing?
Females. Yeah,
I like that, Dustin. I like that.
Take us to school. What can we do?
So, I mean, women of the hobby, I think they're Sam and Hannah are doing a great job of just gathering everybody, all of the existing women that are already in the hobby, and just giving us like a quote unquote safe space to chat and connect with each other, kind of like what Brad is doing for Card Life, but in general. So I think that's great. And continuing to do events in real life at all of these conferences. Like there was one at the Mint, there's a lot coming up at the National, to just try to see how we can capitalize and connect and just keep elevating and keep promoting each other, because I think that's what it's all about. It's just seeing each other, understanding also this is a legitimate way to invest your money for people. For a lot of women, they don't know that. They just think it's some, you know, middle guys in middle America who are playing with pieces of paper and don't understand the
Don't get offended, guys. Don't get offended.
Sorry. But a lot of women just do not understand the power and the potential of this as a legitimate asset class.
Awesome. And I did see, Michael, we will get into alt and what it's about and how y'all are different. So I do want to do that. I just find this niche very interesting because I don't know a single man out there that does not want more females, just because it's such a masculine thing. And there's, I mean, if you broke down what percentage of fans of a certain team here in the US is male versus female, you know, it's not 98% male. There's a lot of women that love sports, that love their teams. You go to the stadiums and they're cheering just as hard, if not harder, than their male partner. And you're like, okay, but what's the disconnect? And maybe it is just the stigma of, okay, it's for, you know, white guys in their 40s to 50s in this region, And so hopefully y'all can, you know, everyone does their part to just open that up to different demographics so that whoever can be interested has a place to go to.
Yep. Agreed. I love that.
That's it. Dustin, do you have anything to add?
I was just actually thinking of you, like we get together like a Knights of the Round Table where we have like 20 women on the show, and then Brad literally just talks for an hour straight, and then it's over. It's like, all right, well, thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming on. It was great hearing your story.
This is the one time of the week I get to vent. I get to just share everything that I've been bottling up the entire
all the ladies
week.
I like that.
Trying to get a word in.
Well, like, one more thing. Okay.
So I will say one more thing about this. I was on in a group panel with women and allies of women, which is interesting. And it was a safe space for people to ask questions about how to bring more women into the hobby. And one of the guys was there. No shame. Like it was a safe space again, but he said, women come into my shop and I don't know what to say to them. And I feel like this is a common theme. Like we're not like exotic animals. We're not insects. Like we're just like everybody else.
It's a woman.
I'm just getting to like, I'm getting this thought of like the card shop people just like hiding. Like, oh my God, like a woman just Rod, get to the back. Get to the back.
I know. It's just treat us like any other man that comes into a card shop, because you know we watch sports too. We collect things. Like it's all good.
Okay, so treat you like a person versus a strange lagoon creature. Awesome. Hey guys, if you're out there and you see,
let me notate that so I don't forget.
Yeah, guys, let's just repeat this point. If you're at a card show or a card shop and you see a female, treat her like a person, not a lagoon creature. Okay.
And Ziggy, no boyfriend.
I like Ziggy's leading question.
Yeah.
Tell us. Oh, you don't have one? Oh.
Oh.
What a nice leading question there.
No, Ziggy.
My question is, you said you started collecting as a kid. Was that from brothers or something else? Because I don't even know females like that grew up in the 90s with me, friends that I had that even knew about sports cards, or maybe they knew of it, but it was always something that their brothers did, or I don't know, their dad did or something, but they never got into it. Is that something that you were lured into by people around you, or did you get into it on your own?
Indiana. I'm an Indiana girl. We're obsessed with basketball. My team was really good, and all of us girls, we collected basketball cards. I mean, we played, we hung out, we went to Pacer games together. I had like my 10th birthday party at a Pacers game. Yeah, and so it was just it's part of life. So yeah, no brothers. They didn't introduce me to anything. It was just something that me and my teammates did together.
So you think, I mean, because I don't know if that's happening, how much that's happening right now for females. I don't know if that's happening a lot more or not.
Yeah.
And I was going to say one thing that I'm excited about, but I think would really open it up for more females is, for example, what do we got there?
WNBA cards. I think this is going to be a great thing for girls and women.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then I don't know if there's well, I mean, U.S. women's soccer cards as well. I know there's some tennis cards of Venus and Serena and that kind of stuff. The one angle I was going to take it, and I've said this so many times, is here, and I'll start with the story. Here in L.A., I'm looking at all the billboards, and I'm seeing Top Gun Maverick, in theaters May 27th, and I go, oh, man, that looks awesome. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I can't wait to, and I know it shattered all these records, and I go, man, if I see it and like it, how much I would love to have a Top Gun card with a piece of the fabric. So I'm wondering if you're either thinking of this, or if it's something that you think would work for more females, but just more pop culture or shows or movies that women watch, where it doesn't have to be sport related. They don't have to be diehard Kobe fans or LeBron fans or whoever else. It could actually just be, I love this TV show, and now they have a series. Would women, do you think, flock to that the way I would flock to Tom Cruise on a card?
I don't know. I can't speak for women in general. I don't think that would be my cup of tea. But I know like Kim Kardashian cards are huge. Like her auto cards, they're good. I don't know, but music cards are getting bigger and bigger. So there certainly could be something there.
I think so. But I talk about that every week. Going back to Nike, though, you worked there for several years. And so you're in charge of the energy marketing, making sure that there's a lot of excitement around any new upcoming drop or release. And then tell us about how that went and how you transitioned to this company, Alt, and then we'll go into what Alt is.
Are you okay? Is that the helicopter?
Yeah.
For you?
I mean, I like to think it's traffic related because it's this time, but knowing how downhill.
Why is there a spotlight on your face, though? That's the part.
No, it's for extra lighting. I just need extra lighting because it's a bit dark here.
Yeah. By the way, your comments section is crazy.
Yeah,
you guys are wild. Pete Davidson rookie would be a keeper. That's interesting. Yeah.
GD, send your address to Brad, or we're going to auction up the cards.
Yeah, and it's not going to go for much, but I'll still keep it. And the comebackcardinvestor@gmail.com. If you won, Brendan, I already got yours. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So you're at Nike. I'm going to mute myself because the helicopter's coming back for me. You were at Nike for several years, and then what happened with Alt, and then we'll get into who Alt is or what it is.
Yeah. So corporate world for 13 years. It was amazing. I got probably the best, like I say, education of my life at Nike. I worked in every single sport. I worked for many years in tennis, so closely with Serena, Rafa, Roger, Nick Kyrgios. digital products like the Fuel Band, our movement tracker, Nike's first video game, and a lot of time in soccer also. I had an itch. Because I felt like, we're marketing sneakers over and over and over. And I felt like with the education that I got at Nike and the storytelling prowess, I felt like I could bring this to a new company and just create some new space and something completely different and hopefully innovative and help them out. And so I left. And during COVID, I was figuring out what really, really, really intrigued me and motivated me. And one of the things was collectibles. I left Nike with about 1,000 pairs of sneakers. I flip mid-century modern furniture. I had started collecting cards. And
the furniture thing, we won't go off on too much of a tangent, but is that something that you do like at auction, or is that like garage sailing and you find like cool, estate sales and you find cool stuff and flip it?
Exactly, estate sales.
Okay.
And usually I clean up the wood, I clean up the furniture, I stage it. The marketer in me stage it to make it look beautiful, and like you need to have this table in your life. Your life will not be complete.
That's a marketer's like trademark line right there. I need Prism football at $1,500 a box or whatever, right? I need it or my life would not be complete. Keep going.
And so one day I was listening to a podcast, our friends from Lucas Tigers and Bronze, and they had our CEO and founder on, Lior. And I was just like, man, this guy is super interesting, pretty visionary. I think I want to work for him. I went onto their website. Head of marketing was there. I applied. I perhaps slid into his DMs on Instagram, and here we are.
Here you are. Wow.
So, very good. The one thing that, of course, pops in my mind, sliding into DMs in terms of, in general, what's the effective rate? How effective is that? Just in general,
Brad's going to compare his numbers now. Brad's got the robo messaging thing with like, hi. This sends like 1,000 highs per second.
Brad's bot.
I have my own personal bot.
It's very, very thoughtful and strategically. That's how you need to slide into DMs and appeal to the person.
Don't treat him like a lagoon creature.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and then you slid into the DMs, you got a hold of him, and you just had an interview a week later, or was it like a banter for a bit, a conversation?
It was pretty instant. It was just the synergies were all there. Everything that they were looking for is what exactly I was looking for also in a company and a founder and somebody that I wanted to work with. And they were looking for a colorful marketer.
You're very colorful. So what is alt exactly? And I mean, I can share a screen in case you're not familiar with it. I remember meeting, I don't know if it was at the Dallas that we met or National, where I met you, and I forgot the other guy's name that I always see on the Instagram ads.
It's Jackson.
Was that Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, okay. Yeah. Chris. Okay. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, this sounds amazing. And the fees were basically non-existent and linked to your bank account. I think that avoided extra fees or things like that, something like that. So once you give us like what Alt's mission is and what really drew you to this company, because if you're leaving Nike, I understand that you might be kind of bored with the whole process, but that's a big company, that's a huge brand and story, and a lot of people would love to work there versus a startup, which could be scary. So tell us a bit about that.
Startups are pretty wild, and it was a lot more than what I ever imagined, going from a company with 50,000 people around the world to I was employee number 40. Building processes from scratch, hiring teammates. I think I've hired about 16 people so far in the past year. But what I really why I joined Alt was to create something new, is this whole cross-pollination of ideas. And backtracking, Alt is an investment platform for alternative assets. Right now, our proof of concept is trading cards. So we started with a marketplace, a buy and sell marketplace. Oh, geez, Brad. Gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So be careful when you're searching there.
Yes. Thank you.
Onlyalt.com.
Yeah, onlyalt.com. Thank you. A buying and selling marketplace with still the lowest fees in the industry. Selling fees are 2.5%. We have a vault. So for secure storage, once you vault your assets, you can put them onto the exchange. We now offer loans against your cards. And then we are liquid. Brad, we can't hear you. We have a liquid auction.
It was kind of nice. You didn't know you were muted, and it was just it was like, oh God, it's so quiet for a change.
Yeah.
Short-lived.
Our liquid auctions have become super popular. And I understand we have a really, really greatly curated assortment every other week that we put it out there. We're like, people know, we are aware, we tell people we do have sourcers for our auction product. So a few of these cards do come from our team that is actively sourcing every single weekend at card shows and through their private channels. But our collection of what we're putting out there on the auction is pretty nice. It's usually between 200 and 400 cards. Most of them are serialed, numbered pieces. And right now, because we are still getting eyeballs, we're still getting new customers, you can find some really great deals on our auction.
I've heard that, actually.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of chatter about there are some good deals. And actually, too, I heard recently, I can't remember where, like which podcast or whatever, but something to the effect of that. Alt's been helpful for dealers trying to cash out to move money around with cards that maybe they're upside down on or whatever. And Alt has been not like lowballing, but actually giving like good offers and, everybody going.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. So at the Dallas Card Show, we were offering 80% of the alt value or the going market rate. And we were offering that in alt credit. Typically it's 72%. So, I mean, I would say we're pretty generous. Like we want this to be a nice, we want this to be a benefit and a perk to the community.
Let's talk a bit about the alt value. And while you do that, I have to use the restroom because I had a massive smoothie right before. But I think the alt value is something that's gotten some scrutiny in terms of where you guys are coming up with this estimation from. So can you go over where that is coming from? Because, I mean, I guess it's not really a science.
Yeah. So
that wasn't built for live TV. All right. Go
bye,
ahead.
Brad. So if you guys have never been to our site, the alt value is our algorithm for the going market rates. And this is based off of as many previous sales as we can account for. So right now we have the best data in the industry, pulling from all of the auction houses, eBay. So it's more than just 130 point, what you can find on there. And the alt value is determined from all of these previous sales and not just the last one on eBay. But yeah, some people say it could be a little bit off. And I mean, I think it's always best to use it as a guiding post. But you can determine your own value off of it.
Yeah, it's always going to be debated because you guys have some really rare stuff to where it's like it's not like there's a ton of volume on any of these things. So there's going to be a lot of variance there.
Yep. Yeah. Mike Petty. So we do have a value tool called the alt value, but in addition to our marketplace, liquid auctions, vaulting, and lending.
Can you repeat all that? I just had to use the restroom.
Brad,
just kidding. I'm actually a bit sad that the viewership went up now that when I left.
Now it's back down again.
Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so assuming I missed something that I could piece together or find easily online. Like what's the future of all, or like where do you guys see yourself going in terms of, is it just cards, is it other things? And then also I want to shout out, actually let's do this first, global sports card investor for international customers as well. So I don't know if you went over that, but there might be a lot of people in, is it in Canada or is it just United States, and then what about everywhere else?
It is just in the US right now, but we are coming soon to Canada, UK, and I think about 32 other countries was the update yesterday. Hopefully right around the corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't commit to an official date, but right around the corner.
Let's cut to the chase. How does Alt feel about the new off-centered vault? And how are you going to compete with, the green, system that we have put in place? There's nothing quite like it, but not even just the off-centered vault, but now eBay's got a vault. Everybody's got a damn vault. So Alt was one of the first vaults. I'm starting to sound like Dr. Seuss. What's the, like, how do you, how are you guys like, wow, now there's a zillion vaults, or, is it kind of like, we're just going to do our thing?
Yeah. Do you guys have a vault?
Yeah, actually we do. I have a picture pulled up right here. Actually I do, guys. Yeah, the timing was perfect, because I could just search it real quick. Yeah, so I mean, the one thing that we do offer that no one else does is the scenery, as well as we are the most eco-friendly vault out there. Everything is from recycled materials or just original woodwork, original appliances.
These cards are guarded. They're guarded by Mother Nature. We don't need we don't need a safe. We don't need all these fancy locks.
Friends, security guards, not food. This is our security guard right here, Matilda, and you see the cards are having a good time, just chilling right here. They're enjoying their life. We're enjoying our life together as what appears to be a couple. And can you compete with that? I bet
this is the collector vault, not the investor vault.
Yeah. This is where it's like you care about your cards having a good life versus just being, securely tucked away in an air-conditioned box, which that's not fun for anyone.
Concrete jungle.
What state is this in?
Nebraska or Puerto Rico. We're going international as well. Puerto Rico.
Did you say Nebraska and Puerto Rico?
I mean,
you didn't tell me we were also opening in Puerto Rico, so you have this whole side thing going on I don't even know about.
Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. We're going international, kind of.
The Alt vault versus the other vaults. What do you think, AG?
Yeah, so it's all good. We love other vaults, and we're definitely not the first one to have a vault either. So we do offer 0 fees to vault. So it's just like, to me, it's a no-brainer. Sure, like I still have cards here in my house, but soon I'll get them all over to the Alt vault. Our goal is to essentially be a financial institution, essentially be a bank for collectibles. In the same way that you would be able to get a loan from a bank for your next house, you could vault your assets, your cards with us, and we would give you a loan for your house off of your cards.
So you can get collateralized loans using your collectibles from you guys.
Correct.
Is that something any of the other vaults are doing? Because I'm not sure. I haven't heard that terminology or that approach yet. I've heard it for.
Well, what's interesting is like Bank of America doesn't do it, as far as I know. Like the big banks they wouldn't consider it collateral, as far as I know. I'm not a banker, but that's something that's kind of outside the box.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm not aware of anybody else doing it like this. So.
And Brad, the answer is no, they won't loan against the cards that you have.
How much will you loan against Prism Base PSA 8?
Second year?
Second year, Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
It's currently worth about $9. So, I mean, how much could I withdraw from that? Can I refinance?
That hurts my heart.
The first customer to ever get declined, Brad, right out the gate.
Well, I actually sent cards in with y'all, and I think I sold the majority of them, or at least a few of them, because when I went to see you at, was it you say it was the National, right?
Just National.
Yeah, it's the National, not Dallas. Yeah, at the National, that's when I sent in like 5 or 6 cards because I had a ton just to distribute to different platforms because I really just wanted to understand like what my experience would be and then be able to share it. And so I did have a couple sales there. And it was quick. It was very easy. And I remember looking at the fees and be like, oh man, it was like minus $15 or like minus $45. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And so, I mean, you got to do the math in terms of, all right, well, I would have to sell for X amount more somewhere else for that to be even. Or, you know, the other question I had, which I would ask any platform is, do you plan on partnering with other platforms? Are there, you know, because I feel like right now we're getting to a point where it's going to be very hard for 9 platforms to succeed on their own. And so you're seeing, all right, grading company now partners with this, and maybe a platform partners with this type of company. There's some way to really add more value and help more companies survive by standing out versus everyone competing on their own.
Yeah. Super valid. So we are starting to offer cross promotion to eBay. So that definitely expands a whole lot of eyeballs. But we would still handle the outtake and the shipment of cards. And you still get the 2.5% seller's fees. So
is that currently going on like right now? Or is that coming soon?
We're testing it out right now with just a small group of people. But yeah, so good.
So similar to CompC in a way, where something would be listed on CompC, and then that same. I mean, honestly, I gotta say that is a game changer. I don't know if that's going to be something that you stick with, but whether it's MySlabs and the ability to have a card in hand and list on eBay and MySlabs, or CompC where I could send it there, but it's really tough as just like an average collector, average investor that has done this to take the card off of eBay. It's tough to do that. So I really hope for the best. And even if there's like a, you know, bit more fees than you normally would, I would be a fan of that just because I believe that it would sell when I would want to and more eyeballs would be on it. So
yeah, I appreciate that. I do want to ask Mike Petty in the comments. I'm curious why you wouldn't send your cards to a vault. Oh, wait, he can't talk. He's actually not on the show. Duh.
Yeah. Hey, no, Mike, I'll send you the link. Let's hop on right now. Yeah, actually,
back in the comments, please.
Yeah, that's how this works, AG. So someone is typing something on the side, and then they're going to have to type back their response.
Type back right now, Mike.
Right. But yeah, actually, yeah, Mike, here we go. But my cards only have one name and are not PSA 10s. Darn, no vault would want them. Okay. So it's a matter of like, what's your criteria for sending to alt? Is it like any and
PSA,
all, or
PSA 8s and above, or with an alt value of $200 or above? And then, of course, the one of ones, always those.
Okay. Yeah. So Mike's crazy. He actually likes to enjoy his cards. I don't understand that one bit, but he actually likes to look at them and enjoy them, which sounds archaic to me. But okay. So that's great though. If you can combine forces or at least test that out, I think hopefully that does really well, because I could imagine a lot of people would love to see that feature. In terms of the National, in what, I guess 7 weeks or so, what's your plans for the National? Will you be there? Will alt be there? Do you have crazy giveaways? Do you have bribes? Do you have like good things for us?
So we do have a booth right in the middle of the corporate sponsor booth area. I think we're next to Kentucky Roadshow, Dibs, our friends at Collectible.
Don't worry about that one.
And we are doing additional things, trying to drive some traffic to our booth. We're going to have athletes there. We're going to have some of our friends of the brand there. So doing some light alt chats. Perhaps you guys can stop by too. We can talk.
I was going to ask, when is alt going to have dedicated content?
Yeah. Valid.
Putting it out there. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't talk about that first, so now you're all awkward, Brad.
No, I'm fine. We're going to be doing in-person vaulting because that was a big success at the Dallas Card Show, and a lot of people just don't want to travel home with their cards. So we have our security, we have safes, and we will most likely be doing in-person consignment and potentially quick loans, maybe like a 24-hour loan off of your sports cards.
So, I mean, all right, walk me through what a 24-hour loan would be. Like, I have a card that I think, let's just say you value, I guess, alt values at, let's say, $5,000, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you say this is worth $5,000, and then what?
Well, the good news is that our vault is very close to Atlantic City. And so we have our armored truck going back and forth every day from the National. We have our expert pricers looking at the alt value, but pricing it even more correctly to give you the exact loan amount that we could offer. And then it's just like a typical loan. It literally is just like the paperwork, the process, the money deposit, and off we go.
So, okay, let's just say it's a $5,000 card, and that's what alt says it's worth. Then what's the amount, the percentage that you would lend? Like, what's the max?
So let's see.
This is interesting.
Interestingly enough, we just
is it like 70%? Is it 60? Does it change?
And do you have a ballpark on the interest rate?
Yeah. So no, all great questions. So I believe it is 40%.
Is what you would loan.
Interest rate?
No, 40% you can borrow it.
No, 50% is the interest rate.
The interest rate's 79%.
Yeah. No, these are not predatory loans at all. These are loans like you could get from a bank. And
that makes sense that it's only 40% of that you would loan out.
And the interest should be below 1%.
So that's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We're a startup.
Wow. Okay. Do you have like payback immediately, or is it no payments for 6 months or a year? I'm just curious. And I don't plan on doing this per se. I think it's a very fascinating business model, and I could see a lot of people doing it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure on the payback. I'll figure that out.
And this is going on right now. This has been going on. Like
this is literally brand new. We just sent the email out this morning. And if people are interested to learn more, you can hit me up. You can go on to onlyalt.com, DM us. But we are starting to roll these out.
So one question I have. Yeah. So let's see. So Crazy Kev, a $5,000 card, he should be able to get 2,000 against it.
Yes.
And then you said a monetary deposit as well.
Yeah. So first, the card has to be vaulted with us.
Yeah, that's
no. I'm going to hold on to it.
I mean,
I'll give it to you.
That very clear. Like send the card into alt.
That's the collateral.
Yes.
That is the collateral. Yes, and then $2,000. I don't exactly know how the money is transferred, but I mean, you should be getting it instantaneously after the paperwork is signed.
Okay. Did you mention how much I would have to pay out of pocket? Was there a monetary value I have to give as well? Or is it just, okay. I thought it was like the card as well as a deposit of cash for some reason. Like I got to prove that I have some money to give so that you feel better about whatever. Okay. So that's good to know. 40% to buy more gold. So actually, technically, if I think of it this way, if I send in a $5,000 card, let's say, and it's a player that I believe is going to really tank, like he's just going to really suck, I get that money. Like, how does it work if a card's price splits in half after a month? Like the player gets arrested or something happens. Does that affect the loan at all? Or is it pretty much like, now, like what if the value just decreases? What does that do?
I mean, you still need to pay back the loan amount that was agreed on. So it would be unfortunate. And then maybe you just want to keep holding the card until it goes back up.
Okay. I mean, I guess technically if it goes to zero, then you'd be like, okay, now I can walk away from the loan and deal with those ramifications.
Let's see,
right? I'm not looking for loopholes. I'm just asking questions. So
nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. You're turning in your cards, and you're like, this is my collateral that I'm walking away from.
my Lillard second year PSA 8's coming from $9 down to $7. So how do I work that in? But okay, no. So the question was just, all right, if the cards go down a lot in value, what does that affect the loan? Does that affect anything else? If let's just say it doubles in value because of something. Someone wins a championship, goes to a different team, and all of a sudden this card's worth way more. Is there a way do you still have to pay the loan back exactly? Or is there a way to sell the card for more and then use that money to pay back the loan?
Yes, you can sell the card. You can sell any of the cards that you have the loan against. And so that could be a viable option. Yep.
Including that card.
Yes.
Okay, so you could sell that card even if, because it's only 40% of the card, you should be able to cover it as long as it doesn't tank, in which case you still have to repay the loan with other cards or elsewhere.
Yes.
For you, Brad, once they check your credit, it'll probably be like, hey, we need a lot more than just this card there, buddy.
Guys, I do want to pivot.
Okay. I have my strategy already, so yeah, we can go.
And I think you'll find this interesting too. I would like to get your thoughts on physical backed NFTs, not just JPEGs, but
the chat loves
the card.
And let's watch the viewership just tank. It's like a New Year's Eve countdown.
All of a sudden, it's like
commenters, community. I want your guys' opinions on this too. So, physical backed NFT. So, taking this card, sending it into the vault, and it then goes on the blockchain.
What's that exactly?
Well, let her finish, Brad. Let her finish. All right, so it goes on the blockchain, and then
it goes onto the blockchain and is now available for anybody in the space of Web3, anybody that has a digital wallet to purchase this. So beyond just eBay, beyond just alt, anybody that has a digital wallet. This also would then come with perks. Yes, Michael Stone. Perks of potentially tickets, sports tickets, merch, access to events, access to athletes, access to investors.
So the NFT is attached to the physical card, and I assume that it would be more expensive than the actual card because there's an NFT attached to it, or is it just there's an NFT attached to it with perks that are attached to that card?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, because that's kind of like just a, it's kind of like a coupon, or it's like I don't know. I mean, it just depends on how you look at it. It's like members club, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So okay, my thought is if the card exists and I have rights to the card, period, then if it has an NFT attached to it, it's just means more people can buy my card or look at it. So that from that standpoint, if I don't have to use the NFT, but it's tied in there, that's fine. It's great. If someone in the metaverse, or I don't know what I don't keep up with this stuff too often, but whatever they're doing, if they see the NFT and because they see the NFT, they want to buy the card, and that means that I could sell it to more eyeballs. There's more eyeballs on my card to sell. That's totally cool. If there are other perks added, then it's icing on the cake. I think the issue is a lot of times it's like replacing cards with NFTs that people don't like or understand. The other thing too is I don't think NFTs as a concept is going away. So I would rather be more open versus it being like, I don't know, these cell phones, this iPhone thing, I don't really think this is going to be a thing. It's like, it might not be for us today. Like we get it and like it, but if it's not going to go away, I would rather at least be open to learning more. And if the physical card is there, and that's just icing on the cake, then that's totally cool with me.
Well, and if the NFT is a security measure too, so it's like proof of ownership, if it offers some sort of like, okay, there's like, we can track the owner, we can track where this has been, and there's kind of, there's a security element to it. I know I've also heard people say, well, what happens if someone's, hacks in, steals your NFT, they've got the NFT and the card is over here. That's, I don't know enough about the technology to know, I know that's like, who knows? I think that's all stuff in the that's the metaverse that's going to have to get figured out, frankly. So I don't mind the idea. I mean, I think that I'm not one of those like NFTs are the devil. type folks like that are in the chat. But I think it would just be like, how does it add value? It would have to be like very clear how it's adding value. So yeah.
Okay.
So why do you ask that? I'm imagining that's going to be a big part or like part of the game plan of Alt.
Yes. So today we announced Alt Mint. We're starting a first project, dropping 400 packs of NFTs, but eventually everybody will be able to mint their cards and put it on the blockchain. And just like you said, Brad, this will now go to the entire world, people holding cryptocurrency, which they will then get the physical card as well as the perks that come along with it. And if you mint your card, if you're the original minter, the first one to put it on the blockchain, you get royalties for eternity, which is pretty wild. So you get a kickback.
Every time it's sold, there's a kickback.
Every time it's sold, you get paid.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I mean, upside, right? To me, it's just upside.
It really is.
I wonder. Oh man, you're getting quite the attention here.
What is happening in the comments?
So,
Jeez.
will there be a? I think I saw a comment. Will there be a kissing booth at the National?
How come there's not more women in the hobby? I don't get it.
About to say.
Not a lagoon creature. Not. I mean, this is actually very flattering. So it's all compliments coming your way, which is always nice. Trust me, I live here in West Hollywood. I get the compliments too. It's just not from the demographic that I'm into. Mm-hmm. If y'all live in LA, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is launched right now, or is this just announced right now?
Yeah, I see your guys' comments. It's a test. It's a test, and maybe it won't work. But especially as a startup, we have to try some ideas out. We have to see what sticks to keep evolving the hobby, to keep pulling new people in, because we want, at the end of the day, we want more people to be buying and selling, to be talking about these cards, we want some new money coming in, and yeah, we're going to try some things out. Well,
and then it all circles back to, I wonder how many females are in NFTs. I bet there's a higher percentage, and just like, I don't care how people discover the hobby. I just want everyone that could be interested to at least have an introduction, and then the ones that want to break, the ones that want to invest, the ones that want to just watch content or do whatever, or just go to a card show from time to time, at least you now know it exists.
And you also hear too that, what about the kids and the next generation? Well, the kids are going to all be doing this. The kids are going to all be like, what's, the skins for Fortnite and the NFTs and all that. So I think that you guys and companies are trying to figure out, all right, we need to be kind of ahead of the game. We need to make sure that we're not archaic.
Completely agree.
And show cards, that's right. Our HR department is not really working too hard right now. So we are the HR. So that's why. Okay. Look, it's been an hour, so we really appreciate you hopping on, and not just in the chat as we originally thought would be the case, but actually joining us in the video. But hey, it was a bit scary at first. We're like, oh man, there she is in the chat.
Well, this will probably be the first and the last. I think AG will just be living in the chat from now on.
No, I liked it. I love this. Somebody earlier asked me what I PC, and so I wanted to share my favorite thing to PC are mascot cards. So this is the RPA of the chicken, the famous chicken. He signed it. He signed it for me.
And then, personally signed it, or was that a signed copy?
No, that was done elsewhere. But it is numbered, serialed. I love Gritty. Obsessed with Gritty. I don't know if you guys know.
Cards. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know they existed.
I love everything about mascots and cards, and so if anybody ever sees them at card shows, holler at your girl.
And they've got to be quite affordable too. I mean, they've got to be pretty cheap, I would imagine, right?
They are. Some of them get pretty pricey though. Gritty is up there. If you find some graded copies of Gritty, yeah. Like
what's up there? I mean, I can't imagine more than $200, $300.
I think I saw one of his best cards in a PSA 9 for $600, $700.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of, that's a lot. It is timeless, in a way, because it is just that's kind of like investing in a Pokemon card. That the mascot's going to be there for. They could change mascots and teams or whatever, but it's like it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Also, Diamond to Shields, WNBA. I don't know if you guys watch Diamond, but she's a friend of mine, and we work together at Nike, and so I collect her cards. Some Diana Taurasi, and just random guys.
What would you like to see? Last thing. What would you like to see in the hobby in terms of what cards don't exist or aren't very many of that you would still like? Whether maybe it's just an old set or something that you're like, I would totally buy this if I found it or if it existed or whatever.
I love music cards just because, like, I collect vinyl also. Shout out to somebody talking about Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Great albums. So the cross-pollination of sports and culture and sports cards is something super interesting to me and something that I really want to tap into with alt and in-person events and any kind of community things that we're doing. So I think that's a really interesting angle.
You want to see more Jackass cards is what I'm hearing.
Not Jackass. No, not that one.
Well,
didn't really
funny, like Zero Cool rolls out, and it's just, I don't know why it was funny, but I'm like, of all like the IP, like of all the brands of all the shows, it's like that's an interesting one. You know, I mean, I don't know. But whatever.
I agree. Yeah, so that.
Yeah, I like the music cards too. I think we talked about this with Chris last week, Vegas Finds, where, I mean, there's one song. It doesn't matter if it's only one good album or it's a one-hit wonder. If it's that one hit, that one song that you just, you were with your ex with, you met her or you met him or whoever it is, like, and that was the song that was on the radio or in the car or whatever, you'll always have this strong emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
That's why I like movie cards as well, because it could be an actor that you never see ever again, but if they're in that role in that one movie and you love that movie, you could watch that movie for the rest of your life, and there's something special there. So
very cool. What are your guys' favorite albums?
Dustin, why don't you go first? I'll think of a few.
I mean, I'm kind of like 90s alt rock type stuff, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. I could listen to that all day. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's my jam. That's kind of like, it's like the high school, middle school nostalgia stuff. I noticed you have like a Stussy sweatshirt on. That was like the jam. Like Stussy, Massimo, all that stuff was like wearing Vans. Like that was like the grunge band, middle school, high school for me. So yeah, I would say like 90s alt rock is kind of a go-to.
I love that too. Yeah, I just picked up 1995 Panini Smash Hits because they're really cheap. But I mean, Oasis, and those were really cheap because Oasis in the US was just a couple years of relevancy, even though they're huge in Europe and in the UK. It's just, I loved Champagne Soup. Was it What's the Story? Morning Glory. What's the Story? Morning Glory was that album. And Third Eye Blind, Pearl Jam for sure. Even I was listening to Candlebox earlier today. I love like that. Like Seattle grunge, Candlebox, just a couple others where I go, man, just one or two songs are all I need to really just get in the moment. So I'd love to see that as well.
That's very on brand for both of you guys.
That's right.
You got to stay consistent.
People always think I like George Michael. I'm like, what? Why do you think I like George Michael so much? I like Pearl Jam.
I'm trying to look like
Well, I'll take that. That's a compliment. I'll take that. But anyway, awesome having you on, AJ. I hope you don't ignore our DMs from now on, just because you're like, that was the worst show ever, and these guys are horrible, and we never want to see them again. Hopefully,
I've loved you guys forever. I've been watching you since COVID. Like, no, this was my pleasure. This was great.
Awesome, yeah, and guys, check out onlyalt.com. If you want card-related stuff, alt.com if you want to check out inappropriate things that might also interest you, but it's completely different than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
No
and
judgment.
If you have any questions, don't slide into my DMs, but you can just follow me on Instagram at AG_the_OG.
AG the OG. Don't slide into the DMs, but you also know the formula to getting DMs open, which is being personable and customizable, and a couple flower emojis never hurt either.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.